Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. A lot of people are reacting to Somali communities facing pushbacks in different parts of the world, from parts of Africa like Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, to some countries in Europe, and even discussions happening right now in Australia. The reasons being mentioned: fraud allegations, public behavior concerns, and claims about refusal to assimilate. And now the narrative floating around is this: Somalis are facing pushbacks everywhere. I mean, policy changes, stricter immigration controls, or public backlash tied to specific incidents involving individuals. Many countries are becoming more protective of their borders. Before we go any further, this video is for educational and awareness purposes. It's me simply sharing what people are saying publicly and then adding my commentary. I've been able to gather clips from different creators. Credits to all of them for sharing their experiences and opinions. All right, with that said, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's roll the clips and I'll be back to share my thoughts.
But do you think it's normal to operate in somebody's house by force? When the owner of the house tells you to leave, you don't want to, you refuse to leave. And I found what type of disrespect is that one? But do you think this is Somalia? Do you think this is Pakistan or wherever you come from, where you can you people are literally doing as you please in a foreign land?
They went to march against us, fighting for our children. They went to march. So in this case, you can call your march.
You're not going to hijack our houses. You're not going to hijack the economic space that South Africans are supposed to operate in.
Yup. Shut the door, lock it, throw away the key. I'm not interested in moral grandstanding when it comes to national security and the safety of Australian people. Government must protect its citizens first. Period. And no, I don't care if that sounds insensitive. Yeah, I don't even accept the 0.0001% chance that a person who has come from a terrorist region, then comes to Australia, imports extremist ideology, and therefore poses a threat to Australian people. People need to be honest about the realities of Gaza and Somalia. These are active conflict zones run by extremist groups. The identity records and documentation on people who live in these countries are extremely weak, making it very difficult to vet them. Meaning we can't guarantee that they haven't been indoctrinated by extremist ideology. These are also societies where extremist Islamist ideology has been instilled in people since birth. And no, it doesn't mean that everyone living in these places are radicals, it just means the risk environment is fundamentally different. And pretending otherwise is naive and stupid. If there is not 110% confidence that every single person migrating to this country is not linked to any extremist ideology, then I don't want them here. Sorry, life just isn't fair.
Just because Somali is in Africa, we're supposed to support every bullshit they're doing? No. Well, if that is the case, then I can choose not to identify as an African. This is totally uncalled for. We need to be holding people accountable. Just because Somalis don't even identify as Africans anyways. So I'm not so sure why we're supposed to support Somali. America is a very beautiful country. Most of us immigrants really love it in this country. And I'm not going to support Somalia in trying to ruin that chance for us and other people. If they are so disrespectful and they can't change their ways because they've always been, then that's not on me. That's on them. They chose their path. Now they are, reaping what they sow. First of all, Somali people are so racist towards the African people and the black people. Right now, they want to identify as black people, which is a lie. They want us to defend and get in between the war that they started. We are not going to do that. They've never identified as black people. They should keep it like that. Yeah. Anyways, I love my black Americans. I love my white Americans. I love every American person. And I want the Americans to invite me for Christmas so I can go hang out with them and we can gossip about how much we want the Somali people to leave the country they don't like and go back to Somalia to make it great again.
So you mean to tell me that no African country wants the silly Malians. I was just watching, I don't even know what I was watching, but they said if certain African countries allow Somalians to come to their country, they're going to go to the streets because they don't want the Somalians. They don't want the Somalians in their country. Silly Malians. I thought y'all was the best. I thought y'all was smart. I thought y'all had that good hair. I thought y'all had that good nose. They don't want you in other African countries. They said go back to Mogadishu. Go back to silly Malia. Why don't y'all want to go back to silly Malia? So none of the other African countries want Somalians that are getting deported from the United States and other places.
Somalis deny Africanity. They do not want to be identified as African. They want to be Arabs. And the Arabs are pushing them. There's a dilemma here. You see, there's identity crisis here now. I don't have identity crisis. I'm an African, and there are so many Africans in Africa. I don't have identity crisis. You can call me whatever you want. But I have identity. You do not have identity now because the Arabs have refused you. They are telling you, Ya Abid. And you're better off to accept me as your brother rather than going to an Arab.
Now, in a previous video, I covered why some Americans dislike Somalians. And today I'm going to cover why some Africans dislike or even hate Somalis. Personally, I don't. But I hate Somalia. That one, I've said it countless times. But why do some people hate or dislike Somalis? That comes down to a very simple factor, right? And that is, it's because Somali nationalism is freaking hateful, right? Towards other Africans, right? When you think, there's a word in Somalia, right, that they tend to use. It's a word called Bantu. A Bantu, in a literal sense, a Bantu it's like a group of people who speak a Bantu language, right? There's a lot of them in Africa, but it's not everyone. But in Somalia, Bantu literally means anyone who's African and is not from Ethiopia or Horn of Africa, right? So if you're Maasai, if you're Luya, if you're Khoisan, or heck, even if you're Nigerian who are not Bantu, you all can consider Bantu. And that's because Bantu is not, in Somalia, Bantu is not a real word. It's not a literal word that describes a language group, but rather describes the other Africans, who in this sense are supposed to be the inferior ones, right? And that's why, and it has a dark history, right? And that's because Somalia used to participate in the slave trade, which is freaking crazy, right? Now, obviously we can't judge the sins of the son. No, we can't judge the son based on the sins of the parent, right? So most people would actually not have a problem with Somalis just because they had slaves in the past. But the thing about Somali nationalism, and that's the reason why there's a lot of hate towards Somalis, is because Somalis are one of the few groups of people in the world who actually celebrate slavery. They're like, hey, we're so great. We used to enslave Bantus, right? You'll see that all over Twitter. Just look it up. And you'll even see on my post, they call me a Don. If you read through my comment sections, you'll happen to stumble upon that word, right? And that's because, and it's hateful. It's a hateful word, right? Slavery is not, there's no place in the world where slavery is viewed positively, unless it's in Somalia and very few other places, right? And they also have other discriminatory words such as Jarer, which they love to call me. Oh my God, they love to call me that word. If you go through my previous posts, you'll also see that freaking word. It's crazy, right? And so that's why when lately Somalis have been receiving a lot of hate, and I saw there was a lady on my comment section from my previous video who was like, "Hey, why are African Americans and Somalis and other Africans not stepping up for Somalis?" And the true answer to that question is that why would they, right? All these past years, Somalians and Somalis have been hurling, slurs and insults to other Africans. So why the heck would they step up for Somalis. So I don't know. Like I said, personally, even though they call me Jarrer all day, I mean, I don't really care, right? But then again, it does have impact, right? At the end of the day, when someone who's not Somali goes through, say, my comment section, or even just through the internet and sees Somalis posting all this heinous contents, their perception on Somalis change, right? So even if this guy doesn't even know any Somalis, if he sees all the hateful comments being spewed online, then he kind of says, hey, this guy, why would I want to defend this guy if they insult me? So yeah, that gives a little explanation about why other Africans are not stepping up for Somalis.
Somalia has been excluded from Kenya's new visa-free travel policy, and many people are outraged, while citizens from most African and Caribbean nations can now enter Kenya without a visa. Somalis have been specifically left out. Both countries are members of the East African community, which makes this decision even more controversial. Kenyans online argue that the exclusion is based on security concerns, but many Somalis view it as discrimination. One netizen commented, "If we are building a visa-free Africa, it must include all Africans." The Somali government states that this issue goes beyond just visas. It pertains to respect, dignity, and whether Somalia is being treated as an equal partner in the region. Should Kenya reconsider this decision?
Kenya's announced visa-free entry for all African countries except for two. The two countries being Libya and Somalia. The reason being due to security threats. Like, I don't get it at all. Literally, most of Africa, yeah, is in some sort of instability, war-torn or humanitarian crisis type situation. Now, whether it was made by them, caused by them, is a different story. Regardless, in Nigeria, you got Boko Haram kidnapping school kids in that during half-term. In Ethiopia, they're going through famines and alleged G-sides and that. Literally, Sudan is in a civil war right now. In Burkina Faso, Mali, and Nigeria, they got T groups causing harm and stuff like, bro, like. So to be banning Somalia for security issues, it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, this guy is not a threat, fam. Literally, he's way safer than Boko Haram. He's much safer than quite a few people who you're giving visa-free access to your country, bro. It's ridiculous, fam. Ridiculous and hypocritical. We need some justice for Somalia, fam.
If Ruto agrees to take the deported Somalis into Kenya, we are going to the streets. We do not want those in Kenya. They need to get deported to Somalia, Mogadishu, where they want to be. Ruto, you are warned. Do not try that at home. We will go to the streets.
If President John Mahama agree to take these deported Somalians into Ghana, we are also going to go to the streets, of course. I agree with you, my sister. And sometimes I say that you need to live the African experience to understand certain things. Now we hear what is happening in Minnesota, and we are not even saying that Trump is right or wrong. That is not what some of us are even talking about. But we are thinking, or we are watching how you are coming online and trolling Black Americans and trolling and making fun of whatever is happening. And you have some Africans supporting you to do whatever you are doing. Now they are deporting you. Now they are tracing your IP addresses because you said Minnesota was promised to you 3,000 years ago. We come online to do live streams and we tell you to stop, because if you don't stop, it will affect you and it will affect a lot of Africans. Now it is even affecting Ethiopians. How dare you go to somebody's country? You have some of these diasporans supporting you. At the end of the day, these people are Black Americans. They will not be deported. You will be deported. So to those of you giving these people the energy and the engine to keep doing whatever they are doing, you see that they are supporting them. So do you think you are helping them or you are destroying them? And I don't even understand why is that when people are being deported, their own country doesn't want to accept them. If your own country doesn't want to accept you, why should another country accept you? President John Mahama, no one yes I mistake with. Somebody who will come to my platform and call me a monkey. I guess I'm a nice monkey then. You see, they are deporting you. And now they are looking for African countries to actually really accept you. I am not saying that all Somalis. I am not saying that all the communities are doing it. But what you are doing on this app and what you are doing on this internet, you even say you don't need our help. So which means we cannot even speak. But at the end of the day, When they deport you, you are coming to our countries. This is not acceptable. If you're Somali and then you are listening, and I know they will come to this video in the comment with their shenanigans. You understand? So if you're Ghanaian, please listen. Be careful. Let's keep watching and let's keep talking. If they don't know, because I've stopped, I'm not even going live about Somalians again, because they'll come and insult me, they'll come and call me monkey, they'll come and call me weak. You see, and this is what I say, you are only tough online, but when the law catches with you, then you will know where you are going to be. You are here calling people Jarel, and it is affecting almost all the Africans. And some of us, the sensible ones, when we are talking, you come and insult us. But I don't blame you. You have some black Americans, you have some Caribbean people who will support you. We are all Africans. At the end of the day, you are going to be deported, and we are going to feel the heat. You understand what I'm saying? A word to a white is enough.
Our enemy is not Ruto, as Kikuyus.
Our enemy is none.
Is the Somalis, the economical empowerment. So let us not go and address the issues of Ruto. Let us go and address the economical issues. What is this that is making Kikuyus lose the clout, lose the power? Is because of finances, the control of the finances. We are manipulated. We have been suppressed, and everything that we used to call ours has been taken off by the Somalis. They have taken Isli, they have taken South Bees, they have taken all places that we had. They're in Molanga, they're in Kamku,
they are all over actually.
They're in Nyeri, all over, and they're taking the prime properties and the prime positions where the Kikuyu used to dominate. So that is the greatest enemy of our future.
There's been a huge shift in Africa's refugee landscape, as Uganda has stopped granting refugee status to new arrivals from Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Somalia. Reason being, the Ugandan government says that these countries are no longer war zones, so asylum claims are being limited, which is a surprise to many, as Uganda used to be praised for its decades-long open-door refugee policy. But international funding has dropped sharply, straining not only their food supplies, but also their shelter and healthcare services. This new change has affected thousands who are already planning to go there, leaving many new arrivals stuck.
I can go live wherever I want.
Well, then go live in Somalia.
Kenyans, we need to get on our knees. We need to pray. We really need to pray. Do you know why we need to pray? We need to pray that the Somalis in Minnesota, they don't get deported. Please, God, don't let the Somalis in Minnesota to be deported. Just find a way to sweep this thing away so that it will never get here. Because Kenyans, my friend, if the Somalis are deported, what we are going to see here in Kenya and in Nairobi, it's going to be massive. Trust me, it's going to be massive. Our government is not disciplined. Our government is corrupt to the core. And you can go and do your maths, calculate it. Look at where corruption, it has doubled, I don't know, tripled, I don't know how I can call it, since the borders, they were open in 2002. Do you know what I'm trying to talk about? If you go to Isili and you do your research, the amount of corruption, the control of our government, which happens in Isili, my friend, we won't be able to survive this. So now, Kenyans, let's go to churches, let's go to mosque, let's pray, my friend. Let's give charity, let's do everything. Let's slaughter animals for Somalis not to be deported. Because if Somalis are deported from Minnesota, my friend, hey, Kenya is going to be a disaster. All the stolen money from US is going to land here. It is enough with whatever they are looting from US, they are bringing it here to build the Isili. And if you are Kenyan, you think that the money which is building Isili, it is money from their pocket. Wake up.
Is it right to kill somebody who insults Muhammad?
Yeah, because she is just, she had the religion, I understand. But she shouldn't pick up the prophet, you know?
Now, this is why some Americans were not happy with the statement they made. People feel that if you're living in someone else's country, a country that welcomed you, offered you safety, freedom, and opportunities, then it's expected that you follow that country's laws. That's what some Americans find frustrating. They believe that while everyone should be free to practice their beliefs, the laws of the land should still apply. Others have a calmer view. They say this doesn't need to cause conflict. If someone feels that American law doesn't align with their beliefs, then perhaps the best thing is to live in their home country.
Feel more comfortable living under American law, or do you feel more comfortable living under Sharia law?
Sharia law. I'm a Muslim. I prefer Sharia law. Sharia law, yes.
You prefer Sharia law over American law?
Of course, yeah. Of course, yeah.
And do you find most of your friends feel the same way?
Yeah, of course. If you're Muslim, yeah.
This man relocated from Somalia, where they have their Sharia law, where he had the Sharia law that he loved so much. He relocated to the US, where they have their own culture and practices, and started agitating that the Sharia law should be implemented and imposed on the people of the US. And the US government said, we are not having it. They picked him up and gave him a free ticket. Yes, back to Somalia. They deported him. And now he's agitating. He's crying that jihadists are after his life. Excuse me. You think you are Muslim enough because you pray 5 times a day? By the time jihadists take over the government of that country that you are, you will realize that you can never ever be Muslim enough. Go and ask those in Afghanistan. Go and ask those in Syria why they ran away to go to another country to now go and be agitating for the same madness that they ran away from. It is because they know that it can never be as bad as they had it in the country that they ran away from. So that is it. So kudos to the US government. Any other person that wants Sharia law should go back to the country where they had it. You cannot go to a Western country and go and be agitating for the same madness that you ran away from in the country that you ran to. So kudos to the US government. I hope other Western states or Western countries would do the same thing. Anybody that is affiliated with anything Sharia, whatever agitation, they should just carry the person, bundle him, preferably with handcuff. They should send the person back to the country where he ran away from.
Now, there's another layer to this that people don't always want to talk about. Aside from the fraud allegations in America, there have also been complaints going the other direction. Some Black Americans, for example, have spoken about experiencing discrimination from Somali-owned businesses. I even saw a claim from a Black American mother who said she took her child to a 24-hour daycare facility and was turned away while other races were allowed in. Now, whether that specific case was investigated or not, the fact that people are publicly saying these things shows something deeper. And let's be honest, that tension didn't just start with fraud allegations. In some host countries, especially in African nations and in parts of US, there has been quiet underlying friction between Somali communities and local population for years. Sometimes it's about business, sometimes about cultural differences, sometimes about perceived social separation, sometimes it's about attitudes. And then, to make it worse, when this fraud scandal exploded publicly, some individuals started making videos online joking, mocking the situation, turning a serious issue into a caricature content, laughing. I mean, acting untouchable. That kind of response doesn't help at all. If people already feel disrespected and then they see mockery instead of accountability, resentment grows. If you're living in another country, you carry more than just yourself. You carry your community's image. People don't just see you as Ahmed. They see you as Somali. That's just how society works. And that means one person's mistake can become everybody's problem. It's not fair, but that's the reality of life. If there are Somalis involved in fraud or scandals or scams or constantly clashing with locals or the system, it affects every Somali, including the shop owner who wakes up at 5 a.m. and works honestly. It affects families who have done nothing wrong. So there has to be accountability within the community, not defensiveness or saying that, oh, they are targeting us or they're jealous of us. I'm talking real accountability because the whole world is watching and listening to what you say and how you react. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thanks for sticking around. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. And I want you to share your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this whole stuff happening? Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.